talking in their rhythms and kind of feeling like you're in the role when you're not in the role? Are you kind of attached and bonded to these roles?
Definitely attached, but no, I don't run around saying Jesus ate Roosevelt Christ.
You should. I think maybe you should.
I should. I should try and do that in my real life. No, I think we've definitely become so protective and so ingrained in these characters that they feel very organic to us at this point. But well, I'm sure everyone else will disagree, but I don't think I'm quite as hot-headed and big-mouthed as Claire.
It's interesting, but actually, I think I'm probably the same, and we've become very attached. And I think even right now, with everything that's going on in the world, I think we're realizing, more and more how much we love our job, how much we love our family on Outlander. I wonder what the writers, what Matt, if they now think of the characters with the certain voices or the way myself and Caitriona do it. I think a lot of them do now. I see that they start to write the sort of the mannerisms that we have.
Yeah, in the season one, certainly early on in season one, we didn't write to you guys in the sense, then we wrote, and then as the seasons go on and on and on, there are certain things that you guys do, and then we write to those things, and we but it's always, a collaboration between, writer, director, actor, the whole group of us. So yeah, I think we try to, but we have a great, starting point with the books, and we do what we can, and there's a lot of fantastic dialogue that we try to pull right out of the books, and I know Kat and Sam try to do that as much as possible when we're telling these stories. So
You touched on the costumes a little bit earlier when you were talking about the 1960s house scene, but this is the first season with Trisha Bigger, right, as your costume designer. Do you guys have some favorite costumes from this season? I have to say that I think in this, I forget if it was episode 10, but Claire is wearing this amazing full long skirt with a pistol tucked into her belt. Like it's like an accessory. I mean, some of the looks and the coats, and it's all just so amazing. Do you have favorites?
Yeah, I mean, I think Trisha has done an incredible job this season. I don't think it's the easiest thing to come in sort of this deep into a show and to be able to put your own stamp on things while also respecting what has gone before. And I think she's been able to do that really beautifully. And for me, I mean, for Claire, I do that blue sort of riding coat that I have is really, really stunning. But equally, there's one that's kind of like a green suit that almost has this nautical kind of feel to it, which I thought was really beautiful. But working with her, especially for Ep 12, was really fantastic, because we talked a lot about the emotion and picking that color and how we sort of found that silhouette, because we wanted it to be something quite simple but striking, and have that red, the color of danger, red, the color of alert, and all of those things. And it was just, it's great having her here and being able to sort of collaborate in those ways.
What about you, Sam? You had some awesome
some awesome costumes this season, and we see the return of the kilt, which I think was something that we all were wanting to see, and it was just about finding the right place for that. But and actually the red coat for me, was a big one, again going back to that storyline, and it had so much symbolism behind it, and everything that Jamie's fought against. But I agreed, Trisha, she was great at collaborating, she really was. And probably the most sort of striking piece for me is the coat you see in the last almost the last scenes there, when Jamie goes back to Brownsville. He has this long leather jacket, and it's pretty awesome. I kind of want to steal it for my real life, but yeah.
Well,
it's
now
very
you ruined
strong,
it, because
when
it goes missing, we'll know where to find it.
When it goes missing, yeah. When you see me out wearing that. But she's been fantastic to collaborate with, and very, 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 very easy to work with, and just I think she's done a great job.
So I have another audience member question from Jan. Since season 1 in 2014, what do you feel you've learned as actors?
Nothing. Absolutely.
I was going to say everything. Everything and nothing.
Everything. About nothing.
Oh God, I mean, I was so green. I had hardly done anything before I started Outlander, so I've learned all the technical terms, what a mark is, all of those things. No, I think one of the greatest things about being on a show for this long and having the sort of environment that we have with Outlander is to, first of all, trust yourself, but also allow yourself to constantly be surprised. I think by our characters, by storylines, it's not very often that you get this long to tell a story, and it's really lovely to continually be learning new things about your character.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would agree totally. It's impossible to be complacent on the show. As I said, it's constantly moving. It's gone from Scotland through France to the Caribbean and now in America, and it feels like a completely different show. We're talking about America now in its infancy, and there's so many parallels going on right now. But it's been a great show to learn on, and I think Caitriona and I, coming in very green, we've experienced a lot, and I think it's also given us great opportunity as well, and great people to work with. We've learned a lot from our co-stars and our writers and our showrunners. So it's been it's been a good experience. I just wish we were 20 years younger.
Don't we all? So this is really one from Matthew, but you guys, I'd love to hear from you. If you could throw the book out, what would you do with Claire and Jamie and Brianna and Roger? What would happen? And you can all answer this, but Matthew,
this is good. Yeah.
Well, I would probably, given this moment in time, I would probably have them set sail for maybe Hawaii and set up some sort of medical facility.
I'm with you.
And then
on the beach.
Yeah. On the beach, somewhere on the beach.
Jamie invents surfing, maybe.
Yeah.
Claire goes into medicinal cocktails.
Yes, wonderul.
Bree open up a little Palapa Cabana thing, something like. I think if being serious, to throw out the book, I don't know, given the state of the world, I would probably just have them go back to Scotland and do something in Scotland and be in the Highlands, or just because that's where we film and we may be able to control the world a little better there. I know that we're all dying to get back to work, but I don't know. Kat, Sam, do you guys throw out the book? I never even thought of that.
I don't know. I'm really into your Hawaii idea.
Yeah.
I'm sold on that.
Yeah. A little medicinal.
I don't know. I think throwing out the book, I wouldn't want to incur the wrath of Diana Gabaldon and her amazing fans. Yeah. So I think, but I mean, I think we all miss Scotland, in the character of Scotland. And I think, it would be nice to sort of revisit some of that early season stuff.
Now, I did just mention the character of Brianna, who's obviously played by the brilliant Sophie Skelton. And that sort of leads me to another audience question from JLS, who says, what is a particular scene for you, Caitriona, with Brie that you found challenging this season? There's some great scenes with you guys.
I found challenging. I'm not sure. I mean, I always love when Sophie and I get to work together. She's so amazing, and we always have such a good time. I think I just love when they get to be really supportive. And I think you see this with coming from where their relationship started, when Brianna's really struggling with Roger, that Claire is there to be able to, give her advice and be the mother that she always wished she could be. But then on the flip of that, you see Brianna be very much this kind of sage fountain of advice for Claire very often. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure if they're challenging. They've just been really enjoyable.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to mention the peanut butter jelly sandwich scene and how you just
which also was not challenging because we enjoyed eating those so much.
Just ate them all.
I love it. It's so funny. So I also know that you guys were both producers this season. How has that added to your experience on the show, taking on that?
We have a new bar backstage. It's very busy.
Bar,
yes, yeah, I've been quite busy with that. But no, I think we both we got the credit, which has been fantastic, and just to be involved in the production meetings and been consulting with Matt and the other writers, and just to have more of an input. I think we've learned a lot from seeing how much prep goes on, some of the specifics as well. It really is quite a jigsaw piece and such a huge show. So it's been really important for us to see part of that, and also I think probably Ep 12 was where you see the most of our influence, because we were really back and forth with Matt and Tony and Jamie, and it was tough material, but I think really rewarding for all of us.
Yeah, I think we've been in such a unique position where Sam and I, since day one on this show, have sort of been the two characters with which the story has been told. And it, as season 3, season 4 started, we started to open up that world a lot more and give sort of other characters these storylines, which I think has, benefited our show so much. And it's also given Sam and I the opportunity to maybe take on more responsibility. And for me, I think, I always want to be growing no matter where I am, and I don't want to sort of stay static. And so this just seemed like such an amazing opportunity to keep learning and see where we can be of benefit to the show. And hopefully, Matt, we have been and not pains in the asses. But, I do think we have our writers' room in LA, and we have quite a lot of new writers and producers over the seasons, and the fact that we've kind of been this constant, as Matt has and Meryl since day one, I think that's really been of a benefit to kind of keep the core of our show and the sort of essence of our show sort of always at the forefront.
Well, I just want to say thank you all so much for being here. I can't wait to see what you do next. I hope this show just goes on forever. It never gets old. So just keep at it. And thank you so much for everything today. It's been really enjoyable.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Antonia.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.